99% of my business is FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. However, once in a blue moon, it makes sense to do FBM. And I like FBA for all the obvious reasons. It's scalability, not having to store the products, not having to ship them to customers, deal with customer service, you get to use Prime shipping, and the list goes on, right? But again, once in a while, it just makes sense for FBM. So I'm going to give you the situation, and then I also want to show you the Keepa chart so that you can see what it looks like based on what I'm describing in case you come across something like this as well. All right. So let me give you the background. A couple months ago, I came across this product. It was very low stock. People were in and out of stock on Amazon, and it had been a really good seller with time. So over the course of that month or so, whenever I can get my hands on it, I would. I've probably sold 20 or 30 of them. Okay. Really good profit on these items. I was paying 90 to 100 bucks. I was selling them for like 170 to 200. Let's call it making 40, 50 bucks all day long. So naturally, I was constantly looking for this product, but it went out of stock permanently for like the last 2 months. So every day, as I mentioned, I'm looking for it, and I found some last week, and I can get my hands on about 20 of them. Okay. So I got all the products shipped to my house, opened them up, and I didn't send them all off to Amazon for FBA right away. I did some as FBM. And so let's just recap real quick. So I know from proven history, this product sells really well. Very high demand, very low supply for a long amount of time now. I know it hasn't been in stock for 2 months. And because I check every day, I know I'm probably one of the first to market, if not the first. And I've bought in all I could from all the major sites for this category. Okay, so I feel really good about this. So a lot of people say, why don't you just send all 20 off to Amazon FBA? And the reason I kept about half of them home for FBM is because when there's no competition, there's no other sellers, you are the only seller. If somebody wants to buy something bad enough, they'll just buy it FBM as opposed to FBA. Yes, I would always prefer to be an FBA seller and have Prime shipping and charge more. But when you don't have competition and it's a high demand item, it doesn't really matter. Someone's going to buy it if they want it, especially through Amazon. And that's what I've experienced on numerous occasions. Okay. And so another thing is if I send everything off to Amazon and it takes 2 weeks to check in, 3 weeks to check in, 4 weeks to check in, now I'm giving my competition the opportunity to source and catch up, and they might do FBM and beat me to the punch, right? Now, I'm not saying my stuff wouldn't eventually sell, but I would like to turn it over as quick as possible, of course. And so now I don't want to give my competition the opportunity just in case they get their hands on some. And furthermore, once my FBA does get checked in, if it does get checked in a timely manner and I haven't sold through all of my FBM items, I could then send those off to Amazon for FBA because I already have a cushion of items that are live in FBA because I waited till they got checked in. So that was the whole kind of scenario and why it was such a no-brainer for me to do FBM. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. And I want to show you what that looks like in Keepa. So follow me to the computer here. All right. So we have Keepa open in front of me. This is a snapshot of about the last 9 months or so. Okay. It's not going to be a huge Keepa tutorial, but I want to show you a couple of things. For one, the bottom chart here with the blue line, that's an indicator of how many sellers are currently selling at that given time frame. So if you look all the way left, there was one, and when there's no blue line, that means it's out of stock. Then there was a stretch here of out of stock that I highlighted just to give you the visual. Then there was a slow increase up to 5 sellers, then it decreased and dipped down, then it was out of stock, and then 1 or 2. So basically, and then the last 2 months, it's completely been out of stock, essentially, with the exception of 1 or 2 days. Just in general, it's showing me that there's very few amount of sellers at any given time. It's constantly in and out of stock. The top chart, the amount of green ups and downs are a good indicator that this item is selling well. But again, I've already sold it, so I'm not even concerned about that, but just so you know. Also, when there's very few sellers, you can see it sold for $179, $189. Again, I already knew that because I've sold it for that. But in case you were new to this and you saw that, right? And so basically, that's what it looks like. The biggest thing, a great indicator, is the bottom chart, the blue line, the amount of sellers. You can see which way it's trending. If you catch something on the incline showing a lot of sellers are coming to it, the price is going to go down. If you catch something on the decline, it's a good indicator that people are running out of stock and not replenishing because maybe there's a shortage. And when there's no sellers, that's a great indicator, especially in context with everything else, that you're going to get your hands on this and be able to charge a premium. So when you have something that's in and out of stock, that is a good seller, and you can get your hands on it, you got a gold mine on your hands, send some to FBA and sell some immediately, not giving your competition the opportunity to catch up. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm Jonathan. Duke does Amazon. I just wanted to share with you one of the many times it makes sense to do FBM, even for someone that's all about FBA. Thanks for being here and have a great day. Questions, comments, topics, feel free to put them below. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.